And what we're gonna do is go in between. One, two, grab onto the last little string. And leave a little loop, go in one, grab, loop, grab, loop.
Oh, you're pulling it over the top of the instrument.
Yep, exactly. Okay, that was kind of explanatory, self-explanatory? Or I explained okay? Yeah, boy, you guys are tough. I mean, you don't even...
Dr Shukan of the Cruz Clinic gave his usual pretty amusing demonstration of stitching, and then we all got our chance to try as well. So a pretty good morning's effort, and really drove home how much you need to practice these things to make them look good, because I hate to think if I was stitching up someone what the end result would be like.
Gets a little bit thicker, gets edemic. Go in.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the part that I told you about, this part right here,
Extra.
and the other one.
Did you drip on the wound initially to?
No, I didn't, because it's
Yeah,
dead.
I mean,
Yeah, you normally do.
the simulation.
Yeah. Yeah, the simulation on the drip is real easy. You don't really even, like I said, if they're gonna be panicking and everything like that, you just basically grab a little bit around the area where you're gonna go, and then you go in. Do,
So you're injecting on your way out?
and depositing on the way out. Okay, good deal. Now,
So on a wound that long, when you have that horizontal drive in, is it only one and then at the corners?
what you wanna do is you wanna do it in halves, okay? If it's just a simple knot, we're gonna do halves. You're gonna grab one, in,
Excuse me. It'd be easy if we could stand up.
Yeah, I was trying to
Go
go
back
down.
last time.
And bending forward, he doesn't
No problem.
completely. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
okay, grab,
Yeah, maybe I'll try.
grab, you notice how far I'm going in? You can go that far. Remember what I showed earlier? You're gonna pull, so you don't waste a whole bunch of thread. One, two, grab.
So you're
If I-
knotting each stitch?
Yes, on this one, yes.
And you're only suturing skin. You're not trying to get down into any of the other.
If I see that it's really, really deep, I'll go in a little deeper. Okay, two, and then three. Okay? So basically, that's what we're gonna be doing. Yeah, let me do it this other way. One of those days you can't see anything?
Yeah, the lighting's not exactly ideal right
All
here.
right, one of the things that's really, really important, remember the other one that we did? You might not actually do it as fast as I do.
Yeah. Okay.
You grab on, go in, pull out, tie it. One, two, very small area, so you still have a lot of, and we do a little loop. Okay? I don't want to do it so you guys,
So how do you do that with the two loops?
So where's that loop go?
one, I took it off. Two, let's just do it this way. There. Okay, this way you can get it out. Okay, and then we're gonna go, what was it that you called it?
Web stitch.
Web stitch, yeah, thank you. One. Pigskin is a lot tougher than people skin, okay?
Well, that's good to know.
If you can do
Sounds kinda
pigskin,
gross
you
to
can
me
do any skin at all. Make sure it doesn't knot up. Okay? Pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
So it gets in a tangle.
Yeah, when it gets tangled, it's a pain. It's not as
Close together as I thought.
I don't need it that close, especially because you're doing it in a hurry.
So would you only do this if you're in a hurry, or is there, like, what's the advantage to the other way?
So you don't
Looks
stitch
nicer
In the end, or?
in the end. Yeah.
You don't stitch every stitch.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you don't
Most of
mark
the
every
time,
stitch?
orthopedic surgeon will do this one. And if you notice, it looks nice, but most of the time when we do it quickly,
It
it'll
puckers.
it puckers a little bit. You notice the difference between this one and the other one, right? Okay.
Is that because it's not stitched? It's not knotted, I mean.
Yeah.
And he's just going
And I'm just going in, I'm not going in real deep, I just want to get in. Go. And then I pull out.
So that it's gonna pucker up and be the biggest scar.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't matter at that point.
yeah, you want the bleeding or?
Yeah, exactly. Get it done.
Okay. When you're gonna take it off, you're gonna cut the stitch right there at the little, at the knot.
So the assumption here is these are really small bleeds, little vascular bleeds. But just the pressure of the stitches is gonna
Pretty much.
cause them to coagulate, cause them to stop.
Pretty much.
Can you show us the initial stitch where you looped it around?
Okay.
Just one more time.
All right. Does everybody have a knife so they can cut the things or? All right. Go in.
Now what are you gonna show us?
This is the initial.
He wanted the loop knot.
The pretty one?
Twice around there, yeah.
Oops.
Okay.
Really good.
Kind of like what? Okay.
So once I'd had my chance to have a go at some suturing, not very well, it was then back to the boat and it was on with trying to get the water filter sorted out. The actual filter itself inside the canister here badly was in need of changing, but the problem was getting the top and bottom sections apart. I'd had to use a file to file away the plastic over the channel that the rod went in, because the end of it was initially impossible to get hold of. So what was meant to be just a simple change of filter in my in the water, the drinking water filter, going to a dedicated drinking tap, has become a major operation. I've been on at this since yesterday, and I have finally managed to file away the relatively soft plastic to expose the end of a thin plastic bit of tubing, basically, that's supposed to hold the top to the bottom of this filter here, because the section that should poke out from this end here broke off at that point there where the black mark is actually. So I've been using these little files to file away and try to get to the channel that the little plastic pipe is going in the hope that I can expose the end of it, which I have now, but I've got to still file away a bit more of the plastic over where there is the pipe in there in order to try to pull it out, because until I can pull it out I can't replace the filter inside. So very frustrating, very time consuming, and just typical of boat jobs. You think you've got a nice simple straightforward one and suddenly it blows up into a instead of a half an hour job to a 1 or 2 day job. Anyway, the good news is that I did manage to get one of my aft lazarette lids closed. I filled put in there what I needed, and so that's one little thing. I look at that and think, okay, that's done. We have to achieve something, otherwise we get totally depressed. Not a good idea. Achieve something every day if you can, even though everything else is going awry. So finally, we're getting somewhere. I've been banging the end that I've exposed with a needle stuck in it banging it with a, and it is moving. So hopefully if I can get this plastic pipe thing out, then I can separate the top and bottom of the filter holder, and then I can change the filter and put it back, and I'm going to have to go through the same procedure next time again, but at least I'll have exposed the end of this thing. Hopefully it won't break off. Well, it's taken a lot of struggling because this end, instead of coming out like this, actually went back down through a hole underneath here and disappeared, and I've had to cut away an awful lot more of the plastic to stand any chance of recovering it. So this will actually pull out that little bit of plastic tubing piping, solid piping. So we'll see what happens from here. I still may not have success. I might still have a major problem, but if I can't get it out, I'll just have to replace the filter into the water system, so at least I can get some water running in the boat. At the moment, with this out, I can't get any water, so we'll see how it goes. Well, it is coming. It's coming out. That's good. Well, success of sorts. A little bit broke off, and I think there was already a bit broken off again. So we'll see whether I can. I should be able to take it apart, unless there's a little bit of this tubing piping stuck in there. But we'll see how that goes now. Well, I think all that effort was to no avail. I've got that the bit to pipe out the tubing. There's also, I think it's called a shear pin or something. Anyway, and there's also the bit that broke off. I think there's still some in there, because it is proving impossible for the top to come away from the base, so I can't get in to change the filter. So I think we're just going to have to put it back in place in the system, and so at least I can get some water running in the boat. Well, I should have guessed that the water pressure when I turned it on would do what I couldn't do. The casing came apart, and so I've now, of course I had to turn off the water pressure, but I've now been able to take out the old very, very dirty filter. It badly needed changing. So I'll put another one in and then see whether or not I can close it up using what I've got of that plastic piping. Well, the water pressure did what I couldn't do. It separated the two halves of the canister holding the filter, and I had to rather hurriedly turn off the water pressure because water was flooding out from here. But at least that means that I can change the filter. It badly needed it. So here we are with a nice clean holder for the filter, and so I'll drop the filter in there and put it all back together and see whether or not it all leaks when I put what's left, what I have of this piping. Here's the broken off bit. There was another bit as well, so I don't know how well it'll hold together, but we'll see. I'll turn on the pressure and keep an eye on it for leaking. And of course a bit of Vaseline won't harm to put around the gasket here, just to in case it might help with stopping any leaking. Fingers crossed. Here we are with the drinking water tap supplied with a clean filter, and the whole all packed back together again as best I can. I'm quite aware of the fact that there's a 50-50 chance that shear piping, shear tubing will hold the whole thing together under water pressure, but we'll turn on now and just see what happens. Well, I turned on the water pressure, and yeah, as I suspected, we do have a little bit of a leak here. Okay, on with the fresh water and let's see what happens, whether we've got any leaks again. Well, unlike just before, I mean, I've tightened up on those two pipes, one going in, one coming out from the top of the canister, and I'm not seeing any leaks at the moment, which is good news. I did need to tighten them up though. I'd not tightened them sufficiently and they were leaking, but this looks good. We might even have some nice fresh drinking water. Excellent. Time to try the tap, I think. Well, here we go. We're getting Nice, clean water. I let it run a little bit. And down below there are no leaks, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'm going to have to get another of those shear pins or shear tubes, whatever they're called, shear something. It's clearly stopping the top and the bottom parts of the canister from coming apart. But if I get another one of those, then I think we should be back in business with our filters. I've got several spare filters. Nice fresh drinking water into a dedicated drinking tap. Beautiful crescent moon, very thin but seems to be large. I'm not sure it's coming out too well on the video though. And then Venus below. So going off to the bonfire beach party over here, saying goodbye to all the people going over to Polynesia that aren't already gone. So that'll be fun. Pretty busy, beach party. Kind of a farewell party for those of us who are about to head over to Polynesia over the coming weeks. Some, of course, already underway. And a really good evening, everyone meeting up, those who are staying, those who are leaving.